Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of our... Oh, I was on the wrong mic. Season 2 of CYBERPUNK Red. Hello, welcome one and all. I am Simon at Wandering DM. I'll be GMing this Season 2 as I did Season 1. We have potentially surprises for you in store for this upcoming season. We have, we'll begin with a little change of air. We'll also have guests coming in this season, which we'll need a new overlay for, and a whole lot of cool things. Our giveaways are also back, courtesy of Art Alsorian Games, so keep your eye out for that. We'll be giving away another Jumpstart kit during today's session. But first, I would like us to go around the table and introduce yourselves. For anyone who has forgotten about you in the break between seasons, or perhaps is coming in for the first time, who are you and who are you playing in a few words? And we'll begin to my right on the overlay with Adelaide.
Yeah, I'm Adelaide Gardner, or Adelaide on Twitter. I play Reno, our solo, our little grumpus with the cat. She's not so grumpy now. She's feeling pretty powerful. Yeah, that's about it. Sweet.
Up next is Anino.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Anino. I use he, him pronouns, and I play Ximenez, the rocker boy by way of professional wrestling. Also uses he, him pronouns.
Rin.
Hey, I'm Ren. I play Jynx, the nomad, who's a little bit trigger happy and likes to race around.
Hey everyone, Chris Geary. I play the infamous Mr. White or Dr. Frost, depending on how you know him. And we'll see what things happen this season.
Hey y'all, you know me. I'm at Georgia on Twitter, or Praxcore Thesmophories. You know me around on Twitch, and I get to play Trinz, our tech mechanic who occasionally enjoys blowing things up and making it go to 11, because, you know, why not? Everything's better if it goes to 11, right?
It is. Especially when you destroy a big bad. But that said, speaking of destroying a big bad, that's pretty much what happened at the end of our first season. Would you like, my dear players, for everyone that have just joined in tonight for the first time, would you care to just recap very quickly what happened in the first season so that we have a sort of backdrop upon which we paint our second season events? It doesn't have to be chronologically perfect, but like just the main points, if you will.
Well, you see, it all kind of started at this apartment complex when we were playing cards on the roof, and this Yahoo and his two goons show up trying to take photos and sketching things out. And that kind of made the Super Reno a little paranoid. So there was a shouting match, and then guns got pulled. Next thing you know, Ximenez comes out of nowhere and suplexes a dude on his head, and everybody goes home crying. That dude with the cameras ends up dead, not on our accord. Later, nobody knows why. We then figure it out. It's a big plot by someone from WorldSat named John Murphy. Well, plot just thickens from there. There's assassins, one of which is Jynx's uncle trying to kill us. There's a bomb that gets, you know, disarmed, and then C4 that ends up miraculously disappearing and reappearing when it needs to reappear. And a lot of interplay between the different people in the apartment. Some of them are really weird. Some of them are kind of cool. We went through a number of things, like Ximenez goes through opponents in the ring, tossing them left and right and over the ropes. And then you had cool little car chase when one of the hitmen tried to go after Jynx, and Jynx was like, "You don't even know how to drive that thing. It'll car my ass." And then we end up going to, you know, we end up in this restaurant. Jynx thinks she's picking up a job that's kind of good on the up and up, and then we find out that she's getting set up. So we flip the script and we make kind of sort of allies with Arasaka, but you're never really allies with a corp. And we kind of sick them on IEC at the same time as we're using this person named Control, who's a net runner, to kind of help us do some recon, because IEC's got some bad mojo going on. That's kind of part of the reason that our grumpus Reno there was having a bad day. Well, that kind of turned into a bad, you know, couple fucking years or something. And then Merc, Trinz's brother, gets out of prison and gets shot. Like, who gets shot coming out of prison? Like, by the prison gets shot coming out of prison. That's some bad karma right there. And then there's a big match, showdown with Murphy. Murphy's daughter gets involved in all this too. She's some heel wrestler kind of type, but kind of a poser. Ximenez helps her save face. We find out that she's actually kind of being manipulated, and her dad's a real prick. So in the end, you know, bada bing, bada boom, he's dead, buried somewhere in the combat zone. We don't know where, because we didn't bury him. We got his cash. We bought the apartment complex. We raided IEC with the whole mime onslaught that was orchestrated by Arasaka and infiltrated by Ximenez, who then, like, I don't know, power bombs or some shit, some people with, you know, while a mime, which is got to be disturbing. Somebody's going to therapy for that. We then run into the big, you know, badass that couldn't chase after Jynx because he doesn't know how to drive his car. He turns into this big, weird spider thing, cyber thing, and next thing you know, Ximenez is choking him out. Reno's punching him in the guts, and I don't know. I'm jacked in trying to figure out where the data is that we need to try and save some peoples, and Trinz is blowing shit up. So I think that recaps most of it.
It does, unless anyone wants to add something to Chris's recap.
Nope. I just want to point out. I want to point out one thing. Trinz did not get shot in the finale.
Hey, I did my best to not, you know, make a point of how many times she got shot either. If I said that she didn't get shot in the finale, they'd want to know why that mattered. Then I'd have to talk about all the times she did get shot.
It's okay. I have a counter.
No, fair enough. Are there bets? I know some people that would want to put down some money.
There's always bets. It's Trinz. She's making money everywhere.
I'll point them in your direction. Just know when to cut them off. They don't need to go back to rehab.
That said, before we jump into our second season, I would just like to thank our sponsors, starting with Artalsorian Games. Thank you so much, RTG, for both making this game possible and also to sponsor this actual play. Our other sponsors is, of course, Mage Press, makers of 5th edition D&D supplements. Check them out at store.mageandpress.com. You can use code WanderingDM to get 15% off. And as always, the delicious coffee company Found Familiar. You can check them out at foundfamiliar.com or use the link in chat. You can use code WanderingDM to get 10% off your purchases. And we also have Roll20 as our sponsor here on Wandering DM. Check out Roll20 at roll20.net. This is the virtual tabletop that you can see in the overlay down there. That's what we use to roll all of our dice and also to store all of our information for the campaign, such as the pictures of our NPCs and other important tidbits of info. Next up is our partners through the Diceomancy program, Level Up Dice. God, the list just gets longer and longer. You can check them out using the purple torch down below. I am a Diceomancer, part of the Diceomancy program. Anino is showing up, some gorgeous dice. You can check out the new dice that they've just released in store by using the purple torch or the link in chat. And just check them out. Even if you don't purchase anything, every click helps. That said, I realize that I'm missing something on the overlay, so as I'm talking, I'm gonna go grab that very quickly, but we are still gathering money for the Balefon project, as we will be doing all month through the month of June. So let me just grab that overlay if you want to help a good cause, because there's nothing more punk than freeing people that are wrongfully imprisoned.
Also, for those of you who haven't seen it yet, Mike Pondsmith published an article about his statement this morning. It is dope as fuck, and everyone should go read it. As he said, cyberpunk, it was a warning, not an aspiration, everyone.
Fuck the police. I'm just saying, fuck them.
And yeah, so there we go. We now have the goal and the donation bar down below. You can type in !donation if you wish to give to this very, very good cause. That said, with everything happening in the world right now, we know Cyberpunk's a very dark universe. We know it's a dark future. We'll try as best as we can not to bring anyone down during the story, but some actions that are found despicable by the villains of this game might be reflected in the news in like a week or so, because nothing surprises me anymore. So I'm not trying to be, well, no, in some aspect I'm trying to be current, but that's the reality of the show. If you are overwhelmed by the news and what's going on, just feel free to tune out. So, we'll begin our game on the road from Night City to Springfield, a reclaimed town in the middle of the Mojave Desert. I completely forgot to check Google Map to check how long it would take to go from the coast of California to the middle of the Mojave Desert in Nevada. But I figure it's a question of a couple of hours.
5 to 8, we'll say.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like a day of driving.
Yeah, day trip.
There's, speed limits in the dark future, or more like guidelines.
I was going to say it depends. Is Trinz driving? And are we taking the RV? Because if we're taking the RV, it can only go so fast. Like, you can only push that thing so far. Otherwise, you break an
There's
axle.
a system on it.
You're going to break an axle.
Axles are replaceable.
It
But
would
no, it
be
would
a
not
long
break
ride.
the axle.
But Ximenez is not.
No, I think we'll be fine. It's a comfy trip.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
beds.
kitchen and everything.
So the camera would pan in a drone shot of this stretch of road in the middle of the desert with the armored RV that the crew has driving on the road, being escorted by a motorcycle.
I got one question.
Yes.
What's Ximenez drinking?
Muted.
Oh, muted.
Oh, that didn't take long. So if you zoom in on this this truck, you'll see that Ximenez is actually sitting in the turret on the top. But the gun isn't actually working. But he's got sunglasses on and he's napping. But product placement demands that there's a found familiar cup just sitting in front of him. So whenever anybody looks, it's right there. Found familiar.
you've been driving away from Night City under the harsh red sun for a couple of hours already. As you're driving to probably a punk rock song of the 2040s, we're just gonna bring the clock back to before the group left Night City. It's a morning like every other in Night City. The new owners of the apartment complex at the 2077 Pondsmith Avenue are doing whatever it is they're doing in their off time. When you all receive a text message from Connie. Whoever gets that message, please respond. I have need of you. That's what the message says.
Am I on shift when the text message comes through?
That's a good question.
Because if I'm on shift, I ain't getting it.
I'd say roll a d10, and
Okay.
on a 4 or below, you'd be on shift. Because he would know when you're working or not, and he would try to, as best he can, get you, when you're out of shift. So, yeah, you're not working when you get the message.
Fair enough. I'd respond then. What's the trouble?
I need to talk with the crew. I have a favor to ask.
Okay. Any context to the favor, or like personal, business, threat range?
His other message says, can we talk at the Forlorn Hope?
Okay. I'll I guess reach out to everybody else and be like, Connie wants to talk to us at the Forlorn Hope. He wants everybody. If you're free.
There's just this image of Trinz pushing out from one of the roll sliders under the armored RV, which she has been retrofitting to meet her standards. It has a new paint job, black with red stripe, very artfully done in the favor of one of her great heroes, B.A. Baracus. With red rims on the, and she's like, sure. Is Connie buying? I'm assuming Connie's buying. So, all right, I'll go get changed. And then she'll like, give me like 10 minutes. And she'll push herself back under the hood or the car.
It sounded
mine is
urgent.
Just, Reno red check mark.
Gotcha.
I'll text that. Yeah. On there.
Ximenez will RSVP as well.
So cosmopolitan. I like it.
You all gather a few hours later at the Forlorn Hope. Connie is there in a booth on the second floor. The music's playing not too loud right now. We are still in the middle of the day. There's not a lot of patrons. Everyone is... Well, all the workers are busy setting up for tonight. They have also installed brand new metal bars across the bar to prevent people from jumping over. Unfortunately, it also prevents people from dancing on said bar. But it's a little bit more important to ensure that the various barmen and barmaids of the Forlorn Hope are at least safe from melee weapons when they're at work. You go up to Connie's booth. He is looking a lot better than he did when you last encountered him. You've contributed money to him, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, a little bit of
I think
cash,
a little
and got him a stake in Club Underground.
So he seems a little more glowing. Like someone who's finally been eating right after months of eating nothing but kibble. He holds himself a little straighter. Notices all of you. Waves. Shows you a tray of empty pints and a little keg that sits on a stand. It says, everyone, please sit. Hey, Ximenez. Nice to see you again.
We kind of see each other every week.
No, I know, but out of work. Mr.
That's
White.
fair.
Everybody else?
Yeah, I'll sit down.
Go ahead. You weren't followed, were you?
And who would be following us?
That's the thing, I don't know.
Okay.
See, and as everyone takes a seat, he goes on to explain. I got somewhat inspired by what you all did, against IEC, and, I figured I'd do my part and try to help back. You would know, especially Ximenez, that Connie has been like hard at work with Club Underground, trying to promote the club, bringing a lot of his experience as an ex-club owner to Club Underground and to boost visibility. He brought with him a lot of his previous contacts in the industry, those that would have been maybe competitors to Club Underground. So you've got new merch, you've got a new ring, everything that Connie did, like, really genuinely helped. But he says, I wanted to do more than that. I see all of you doing your little double lives thing, and I have to admit, it was kind of exciting to be part of that for a while, so I decided to try to help. I wanted to know if IEC still had tendrils anywhere and whatnot, so I...
Oh god, you're going to get yourself killed.
Well, no. Well, I don't know. That's why I'm wondering if you were followed. I try to make sure not to get involved. I get others involved. Building a little network on the side. I've always had a thing for people, you see. And I met this fella, Reeves. Very, very good investigator. Very thorough. Has an eye for everything. And I sent him on the trail of IEC. See what could be found. See if they still had any subsidiaries or shell companies anywhere.
I would
Ironic.
be surprised if they didn't.
He came back mostly empty-handed. IEC itself belonged to Militech. Militech has a lot of fingers everywhere. IEC had a few, but they mostly were bought out after the debacle that happened 2 months ago. So that may be a good thing, except he sent me a message yesterday, and it got me scared a bit. And he shows you, like, he flips his agent around and shows you the text message. And it says, it reads, "Hey Connie, this is about your friends who took down IEC. Something's off. I'm in Springfield. I think I'm being followed. Get me out of here."
You could have just asked us next time, you know. We're kind of experts in IC at this point.
I didn't want to bother you. You've done a lot, and I felt like I owed you in return. But you're right. I should ask the
Oh, you
professional.
do owe us. You do. But, you know.
What about your smuggling contacts? Did they find any trails of them moving anything? Because I mean, that's your normal, like, bread and butter. That's where most of your contacts lies, and the sneaky stuff, the things that people don't see moving in and out of Night City.
Yeah. Well,
That came up empty too.
Almost. But it's nothing unusual. There are still disappearances. People being smuggled in and out of the city for various purposes. But following what happened at IEC, the NCPD has been cracking down hard on everyone moderately suspected of being a cybered up danger to society. The amount of people with implants that have been shoved into the Night City prison system is staggeringly higher.
Well, that's got to be bad for a lot of people's business, including Militech. They
Well,
can't be happy.
I wager that to them, the tech has already been sold. Unless they're losing what would happen to be a recurring customer, then they're probably not going to say anything.
Oh, I was thinking more about the I don't know. What did IEC call your position technically, Reno? Agent?
Oh, I didn't really have a label. I don't even think I was on the payroll, technically.
Those people. The ones that do all the actual work.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen to them.
Huh. That's funny.
So
Who would have
why
thought the
is this-
NCPD made it the corpse life worse?
Why is this Greaves in Springfield? Isn't it just like a wasteland of gas stations out there?
Because apparently IEC still had an office in Springfield. Semi-secret stuff. I say semi-secret because I could easily found on the net information about it. Apparently they closed shop about a month ago. They were apparently purchased by another company.
Which is named...
Oh, and he takes his agent and scrolls up in the messages. Barrett Engineering.
Barrett Engineering. Does that sound familiar at all?
You could attempt a...
Streetwise is the skill in this one for knowing people with the new rules.
Oh, cool, thank you, because I was going to scroll like crazy. Streetwise would work And I would say if anyone has
Education.
business,
Hmm.
they could probably try too, because it is a business.
Gotcha. I ain't got business, but I got streetwise.
Ooh.
Go
Natural
right.
one.
Oh,
I'm just gonna assume it's a critical fail.
Well, you would have to re-roll and with subtract from.
That's a 20 for streetwise.
And Mr. White.
21.
A 2. It's a 10 naturally, the original roll, and then an 11.
So 11 total.
11 total.
Okay.
For the stat and the ability?
That's the stat and the ability. I rolled a natural 1 and a 2.
Yeah.
Off to a great start.
Both Jynx and Reno, you have no idea what Barrett Engineering is. Probably not one of the big major corporations. That's all you could say. Ximenez, White, and Trinz. Barrett Engineering is a mid-tier company that made most of its money, and Ximenez would know that too, on the east coast of the United States. Actually, in the remnants of the United States. Whatever amalgamation of states remain and aren't completely independent or their own sovereign territories. Barrett Engineering made a lot of ship motors and ships and planes, really. It began as just a general engineering company, and it branched out a bit like all of the major corporations into a lot of vehicle tech over the years. And with Mr. White and Trinz's role, you would know, in addition to all that, that Barrett Engineering has been purchasing companies left and right to try to diversify their business. And rumor has it on the street that they're going farther and farther into the whole armament business. Either they're doing this to attract the attention of one of the major corps and in the hope of being bought out. But Barrett Engineering seems to have the means to buy out their competition or anything that they put their eyes on.
If they've got more money than, oh my god, what is it called? Meditech. What is the, oh my god.
Militech?
Militech, thank you. If they've got more money than Militech, then they've got more money than God, so.
I mean, they're halfway decent engineers, and they build a halfway decent engine. I mean, it's not anything great, but it is serviceable, and it works pretty well. It'll also run you pretty decently. I could do better.
It's also for watercraft, though.
Yeah,
It's a
I could
different kind
definitely
of
do better.
machine. It's not built for speed. It's built for endurance, like a marathon runner. But why? What kind of armaments are in the rumor mills? Because armaments is big. It could be everything from like vibro weapons to cybernetic weapons to
Bombs.
accessories to demolitions.
They're mostly with a 21.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, personal arms and vehicle weaponry.
Okay, so they're going
Seems
for
to be
bigger
there.
contracts, not for like the solo on the street kind of contract.
Yeah, no, that they seem to be branching out into either like personal defense, like, you know, just Joe average wants to own a pistol or something.
No, so they are. Okay, so they are
Um,
going to the individual. Okay.
Yeah, but not like the professional.
Oh, gotcha.
If you go for professional, that would be more like the big contract of like turrets,
Mm-hmm.
heavy arms for like jeeps and armored vehicles,
Mm-hmm.
and the like.
Gotcha.
So Connie says, "Yeah, that's why I sent him."
Cool.
I mean, I thought with its proximity to Night City, Springfield might have been another place aside from LA where they were shipping people to. But his last text message, I don't know, it said something about all of you.
That seems suspicious, so I'm glad you said something.
Well, I wouldn't want you to get into trouble on my behalf. Again.
Yeah, but you didn't know that was getting us in trouble.
No. And, and he looks at Ximenez. I'll come clean. I wasn't sure you were all going to go. So, I also booked you a promo in Springfield because NCW is having the southwestern thunderstorm pass through the city, and yeah, I booked you a promo with Sandman, which that would be in 3 days. So I mean, while you're at it, you could check up on Reeves.
Fine. I need a vacation anyway.
Woohoo! Road trip!
We're bringing the cat.
Cool. And the pupper. We're bringing the pupper, right?
When did you get a dog?
The Under Terrier.
I thought that went back to what's her face when she moved
Yeah, I
in.
think so too.
Well,
She
unless
Keep the
kind of-
Under Terrier.
unless Ximenez decided to keep Under Terrier.
No, and Stephanie wouldn't have kept it because Stephanie's allergic to dogs.
Oh, right. Forgot about that.
That's why it ended up in Trinz's apartment.
Oh, God.
She had to protect Under Terrier from Gina.
Well, I mean, that's a legitimate threat to any living creature.
She does nothing but love animal. So, that said, that's when the camera would fade and we'd go back to the group driving on the road to Springfield, Nevada. As you're driving and whiling the hours away, I would like to know. I'll roll a d10 and start with someone at random. What has happened during those last 2 months? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reno. What has Reno been up to for the last 2 months?
She is not back to her normal self, but she is definitely much healthier than she used to be. She's upgraded her kibble to the nicer meals. a lot of partying, a lot of drinking, a lot of gambling. She has also picked up some bodyguard for hire, thuggery for hire, I guess. Beating people up when needs be, just to kind of get back into the swing of things and feel like her old self, because that's what she's good at, is beating people up.
So like a low-level solo contract. Like
Yeah.
you're not going after assassinations or sabotage or anything, but you're
No.
like the business of like debt collector or something.
Right. Just something to just kind of pay the bills on the side. She doesn't really need the cash, but the cat wants a new tree that it'll never use, kind of thing.
That's good. Have you taken contracts from any corporations, or is it always individuals?
Always individuals.
Okay.
And usually, ideally, if it's like not a huge espionage thing, but something for them to be like, hey, can you help me out with like this small scale corporate work theft kind of thing? I need to steal a bunch of Post-its kind of thing. She's got your back.
Oh, sorry. Would she also go in like the private investigative business and get
I would say yes.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that would be something up her alley.
All right. And what are you doing during the trek from Night City to Springfield?
Well, after wrangling the cat into its carrier, which is always a fun few hours, she is busy playing cards with herself. Sometimes one of the other people just Texas Hold'em or, a single game of solitaire. Lots and lots and lots of cigarettes because Trinz is undoubtedly singing at the top of her lungs to whatever archaic head metal music is blaring from the speakers, because we know Trinz. And occasionally taking shots, pretty fun. She's got also a little small stack of books because it's a nice drive and she's a fast reader.
I would just like to know, when you say taking shots, do you mean like drinking or do you mean like firing
just shooting
at
out
stuff?
the window?
Okay, good. Okay.
No, I mean actually taking shots of alcohol.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. You could have just been like shooting at rocks and cacti.
I mean, it wouldn't be completely out of character, but no, just just a nice just a nice tug every once in a while.
Cool. By the way, I checked very quickly on Google Map, and it's roughly a 10-hour drive.
Yeah, this sounds right.
To where you're going, which is about 45 minutes away from Las Vegas. If anyone wanted to know where. Let's check up on another of our friends. Let's check up on Trinz. What has Trinz been doing for these past 2 months?
First she rebuilt her brother's cyber legs because they were shit and she definitely could do better. And she definitely did better. It just took her a little while to get the parts that she needed and then retrofit things and then, possibly made them infinitely better, and then also possibly pranked her brother by ensuring that when certain songs played, they lit up in tempo. But he didn't know that at the time. She's also been doing a lot of work around the apartment building because now that she's an owner in the apartment building, she can now do what she thinks has been always, some of the things that she's always had plans to do, but was discouraged because, funding.
Like
so
what?
She rebuilt. Well, I mean, she had already redone the security system to link it to, an automated system so that she could send off the fire alarm and sprinkler systems linked together. She also has added some extra soundproofing and baffles in certain people's apartments. increased certain people, i.e. Dr. Kava's connection to the drainage system so that it no longer leaks blood out into the hallway. And
That's
just,
good.
little possible general maintenance, like putting a couple cameras up and adding extra security to the doors and increasing general, little stuff.
Okay.
And possibly adding an extra security system to the Andersons' place to ensure that if they, if it's ever possibly needed and told for her, she could lock them in there. Because they're scary.
And on
retrofitting the cars and all that fun stuff.
And on the road trip to Springfield, what is she doing?
She's driving her beautiful RV that she's retrofitted. It definitely looks like B.A. Baracus's from the A-Team. There's an extra cooler in the kitchens now, so it has you can have fully automatic. It's great. There are lights that definitely tie to the music on the outside with the LED runners along the outside of the van. And it's not hard punk metal right now. It's Hispanic hip hop that's blaring from the speakers. And yes, she is singing along loudly.
Jynx, what have you been up to these past 2 months?
So Jynx was mostly gone from the apartment. She was actually on the road doing nomad stuff, escorting caravans, getting stuff from point A to point B. Obviously, like, she gave a number to everybody at the apartment that if they needed her, they could try and reach her. She did some work with the harpies, but basically she has not been around. She's really, like, she gets antsy every once in a while and really needs to just, like, be on the road the whole time. So she did that, and then she also went and competed in a couple races. There's a couple racing circuits that are really popular and well known, and she's known a little bit over there, so she went and competed in a couple races, and yeah, that's basically what she did. And then she'd stop by every once in a while just to make sure the apartment building was still there, and then she'd take off again.
What is then Jynx? Well, I figure you're driving your motorcycle. You can't really be doing anything else during the road trip.
Yeah, no, right now she's basically doing the job she used to do with her family, which was she's an outrider. So it's focusing on protection and focusing to make sure there's nothing that suddenly pops up all of a sudden that shouldn't be there, raiders or other different things. So she's a little bit acting as the scout also, just to keep everybody safe, and kind of happy because it's peace and quiet and she's on the road and she's on her bike, so couldn't make her happier.
And Ximenez, what have you been up to?
So a couple of things. Ximenez, now that Connie has gotten into Club Underground, there really isn't as much need for Ximenez to work as a booker as well. So while he has some creative control over what's going on, he's been mostly focusing on his wrestling, but helping some of the others also improve their in-ring skills. He kind of felt like he's outgrown Club Underground a little bit, so he's sort of just biding his time until he gets called up to Night City Wrestling, which is the main part of that wrestling corporation that owns both. Seriously, Mayday? Cut it out. Go. No, not circles. I need you down. Thank you. Anyway, so yeah, so Club Underground was kind of like the wrestling school that feeds into Night City Wrestling. So he was sort of just biding his time until he got the opportunity to move up to that. And it looks like Connie arranged it. So in the meantime, he decided to keep himself busy by getting his plumber's license. And so now he does all of the plumbing work around the apartment building and such. So
Ximenez is who I
that-
can thank about the water heater finally working correctly.
yeah, basically.
Nice.
And
Nice. Trinz, you did a great patch job on it, but it finally actually like does it all the time.
so that he's also been working a little bit, been in contact with Control, or aka Alt Cunningham, as to what he's doing. He hasn't really told anyone about it, but that's what's going on.
And what do we find Ximenez doing during that road trip?
So we mentioned that he was sort of just sitting in the turret, just looking out, but he's also texting with Fiona, who is also at Night City Wrestling, and kind of just going over the plans for his promo. So basically, Fiona is feuding with Sandman, and Sandman's tag team partner we'll call Nightmare. And so she has been feuding alone with them, and his promo is that he's getting brought in to tag team with her and take them both on.
And last but not least, Mr. White, what have you been doing for 2 months?
Mr. White's been doing Mr. White things, or Dr. Frost things. So trauma team shifts is normal. He'd still check in on those dead drops that he gave to Arasaka. There were a couple items on the list that never popped up, and not really expecting anything, but you never know what exactly they might decide to do. It would tell him whether or not they've moved on, or whether or not he has to worry about them calling again. He'd also, let's see, he wouldn't be putting Alt off, but he wouldn't have anything like concrete for her until he can process all the information that he downloaded from the IEC servers, which is what he spends most of his free time. If it's not work, if it's not, any of the fixing stuff that he does, so either of his jobs, he'd probably just be sitting in his apartment, a lot less social than normal, searching his memory for those files that he ate, so he'd be doing that. Let's see. If he, let's see, where is it? He obviously would be checking his contacts, and if he sees anything that he thinks would help amplify what Ximenez is doing, he'd put them in touch with Ximenez or Club Underground, just trying to boost visibility. Got to make sure that, your badass face gets seen as much as possible for what they're great at. He would have already talked to Connie about that about the trafficking stuff. He's worried about IEC keeping up with these experiments, and so he wants to know if there's anybody doing major people moves again. Any rumors in the smuggling ring, which we kind of already covered in that flashback scene.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a whole lot that he could have done for Trinz or Trinz's brother, but if there was actual surgery that she needed or that he needed when she was fixing up those legs, he would have made sure that between him and Kava it was taken care of. And then he would have also, with Connie because of Connie's connections, and he would have helped Connie kind of reestablish the smuggling routes that had been kind of blackmailed out of existence by Murphy, and would have fed Jynx some, some courier jobs if she wanted them. But yeah, the big thing is, and this is what he's doing on the trip down to Springfield, is he's probably just sitting somewhere, and it looks like he's just staring out the window. And he's blinking, but if you look really, really closely at like his eyes, they're moving really, really fast. So much so that if you're not actually focusing on him, you're not sure that he's doing anything but staring. But otherwise, they're just sitting there, kind of vibrating at a high speed as he's sitting there searching his memory, trying to understand those files. He knows science. He doesn't know computer code. And so he gets a lot of it, the cyber tech stuff, the medical stuff. But when it comes down to the coding of it and how it interacts with the brain, those are the things where are his frustration points. So he's looking for breadcrumbs on hints as to where to find more information, where to learn more things, maybe names of people that he can reach out to fill in some of the knowledge gaps. That way he can come through on his favor, the only outstanding favor that he has.
All right. And back on the road, I'm going to ask Jynx, who's the outrider, to make an awareness check.
Perception?
Yeah, perception. Awareness is in The Witcher. You're muted.
I got 7.
That's with your perception and your intelligence?
Oh, oops. So it'll be 14.
You can look at the camera.
Sorry.
With a 14, you see ahead of you on the road, in the middle of the road, wrapped in black garbage bag and tied with ropes, what appears to be a body.
I'll call in to the RV and be like, slow down, there's a body on the road. I'll go check it out.
Cool. She'd pull the car up. Like, I'm assuming we haven't seen anyone else on the road in a while.
Not for the last, half hour.
She'd still kind of pull it off the road just a little bit,
I'm gonna get out with you, but I stay I'm assuming, it's like a bus door where it parts like that. I'm just kind of hanging on, leaning out, hand on my gun, Phil. I'm prepped. I'm prepped and ready.
I mean, we have a
Body out in the desert.
Yeah, body in the middle of the desert, another good thing.
You approach the body, Jynx. It's shaped like a human body, probably about 6 feet tall, wrapped in black trash bags and duct tape. But you swear you can see it breathe. Like it chest moves up and down. Faintly, but it does.
Okay. So I'll call it. I think it's still alive.
I lean my head back in. White. We
I'll
got
keep
some
going
roadkill that's not yet roadkill.
Yeah. I'll get a little bit closer. And I'll just make sure it's not a trap, like there's nothing around it that I could get stuck on or, you know.
Make another perception check.
Mm. 18.
It's hard to see, but the road on each, not even like, not all of the road, but I would say parts of the road and parts of the field around the road on each side have been trapped with a spike strip. Someone going at a high speed would have probably missed it, and by swerving around the body would have ran into the spike strip.
I'll take out my sniper. Because now if that's like that, then I'll take out my sniper and I'll do like a 360 and I'll look for people farther out.
As I see Jynx obviously prepping for something that she's seen, I will also draw my weapon and I'll get kind of like into a crouching like half cover, like kind of at the front of the RV because I'm at the doors, just looking in the opposite direction where she is.
Before you see anything, you both hear a pop. Well, even Ximenez, if you're sitting outside of the RV, you would hear a pop coming from the body, and the plastic bag rips, and a column of purple smoke comes out of where the chest should have been. And that's when the two of you notice in the distance, even with the sight of the scope or your eyes, dust. A little bit of dust rising up. Like if multiple vehicles had started driving off-road. Maybe in your direction, maybe not. They're too far away to know.
Can we
An
move,
ambush!
can we move the tax strips and put them alongside the roads so when they come up off-roading, they actually hit the tax strips themselves?
Yeah, sure. I'll maneuver with my bike and I'll move things around. Because we're in a wide open area, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's a big old desert.
It's the desert. It's flat. There's a
Yeah.
little bit of mountains, but it's mostly flat.
Yeah, everything looks far away and everything looks close all at the same time.
Yeah, so basically we're not gonna have a choice but to face off with these guys probably. So well, I have a gun, Reno has a gun. Anybody else?
There's a fully automated cannon in the turret of this vehicle.
That's useful. Yeah, I'll try and pick off as many of them as I can before they hit here.
Somebody want to shoot the not body in case it's, does more than just smoke and possibly blows up.
Trinz, would you have a better time, like if you were up in like the turret areas, if you had like high ground sniper things, or lay down on the top of the RV, give yourself an extra steady?
Who, me?
Yeah, sorry, Jynx. Wrong.
I was like, I'm not shooting
That's all
nothing.
good.
Trinz was talking, and it got stuck in my head.
That's
So,
okay.
Yeah, Jynx.
Yeah, though I'm better off having been mobile to a certain point.
Okay.
My bike's steady. I'm used to shooting off of my bike, so
I know. I was just saying angles.
yeah.
And don't worry, if it becomes necessary, I built in the drop ramp.
Is
Nice.
that why you were tinkering with like the bed going up to the ceiling or something?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Don't sleep on that bed if we're going to be in danger. Ximenez, don't take a nap on the bed. If
I would let you know if I need to open the back door. Also, it's designed to kind of push you out of the bed so I don't squish you.
Oh, okay.
The clouds
I don't know. I just
get-
saw the early stages. Sounded sketchy or kinky, one or the other.
Why not both?
The clouds get bigger. Through the scope, you can see there are 4 vehicles on each side of you. They're dune buggies. Made for off-roading. Not necessarily made for speed, but they look modified. They do not seem to have any weaponry on board of them, but they are being driven by, well, operated by 2 people. One who seems to be a gunner, and the other who controls the vehicle.
I'm gonna ride out and meet one of the groups and try and take out as many of them as I can.
Oh, you're just going for it. Okay, I was gonna pop
Yeah.
off some warning shots because I don't know what they're up to, but okay, we can just kill them.
This is nomad shit. I just defer to Jynx. If that means if it's shoot first, ask questions if there are survivors, then that's what the law of the land is out on the road. So
Ximenez, you awake? Ximenez, are you awake? Are you awake?
I see what's going on. Shouldn't we be moving?
Yeah, I just wanted somebody to shoot the body in case it, was dummied up with explosives with a bouncing Betty underneath. I read stories about that in Vietnam, that they did that.
Yeah, I don't fire turrets, so make with the rigger stuff, whatever.
Okay, Trinz, are you gonna shoot or excuse me, not Trinz, because I'm Trinz, and that would be weird. Reno, are you gonna shoot the not body, please, and thank you.
I will turn around over my shoulder, and I'm swapping to my assault rifle, by the way, and I will pop a single round at the body and see if it does literally anything.
You hear a ding as you hit the body. It seems that your bullet went through something metallic. It doesn't budge. It doesn't explode.
Okay.
And it doesn't bleed. Though it's probably definitely not a body.
And Jynx moved the strips, right? The spike strips out of the way.
Yep.
Cool. Trinz would start moving the car then.
So you start moving the RV. Jynx drove to meet one of the groups. How far between, like, the RV and the group do you want to be, Jynx?
I'd say about halfway.
less than a mile. That's always your answer. Less than a mile.
Okay, less than a mile.
Because then we can stay in contact. You go over a mile, we can't contact you.
I have radio. I gotta remember that now. I have radio on my bike. So it's a new thing. I'm not used to it yet.
So you drive up to them, well, within a mile of the RV. You take position. As you look through the scope, you see that at least in one of the dune buggies, someone is also looking at you through a scope.
Oh, but that's why I don't stop moving.
Oh, okay. You want to drive by them.
Hmm.
Yeah, like my bike doesn't stop moving. I keep moving even though I line up a shot. I can lock my wheel if I need to, so that I just keep going.
All right, then I would ask you to make a shoulder arm check.
$25.
I have to get the rules for shooting because they're in another book. At 25, you hit. Barely, but you hit.
I was aiming for the driver. To make, basically, the idea is so that the car flips and stops.
It's not a headshot though, but you can definitely roll for damage.
$18.
You fire a round into the driver who took it to their chest. Their buggy begins to swerve, but the shooter next to him just steadies the wheel as the driver attempts to keep control of it. They're not dead. They're hurt, but they're not dead. What is the rest of the group doing as the group of 8 buggies begin to approach?
Well, there are 8, not 4. I thought it was just
4
4
on each side.
Oh shit.
That's a lot. And Jynx is straight up shooting at them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, have they shot back at her? No, I mean I guess probably not
They
gonna
don't
turn
have
it
the
anyway.
range.
They don't have the range. Okay, and I don't think I have the range either.
Assault, is it an assault rifle?
Yeah, it doesn't say a range on here.
No, but I have the list here because it's in the jumpstart kit that you have.
Oh, nice.
So rifles can shoot all the way up to 800 meters.
Okay.
It's just the DV gets progressively higher
right.
to try to hit. But right now, I will say right now you are at 800 meters away from them.
Okay.
Jynx was at 4 because she met them halfway, but they can't even fire. Like, they fire, but it's mostly warning shots because none of the bullets have a chance to hit one of you at that distance.
Okay. So I'm in range, but just at my limit, essentially.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm putting for my combat awareness, I'm putting 3 points into my precision attack. So I have a +1 on my attack. And then my last point is going into spot weakness, which is a +1 to damage on my first successful attack in a round.
Okay.
So I am gonna go for a shot on with my assault rifle.
All right, that would be a DV30 at this range.
Woo! Okay. What stats do I roll for that?
Oh, that would be shoulder arms.
Shoulder arms.
Yeah. So it goes with reflexes.
Right. Okay. Reflexes. Okay. Nice. Okay. Oh, that's a nice one. Okay. Gotta count on my fingers. Oh, it's not a 30. It's a 20. That sucks. Oh well. It's another warning shot.
I was gonna say you have 10 points of
21,
luck
I
to
guess.
burn, but
I do have 10 points of luck to burn, but that's a lot of luck to burn when they haven't even gotten here.
so you fire a warning shot into the air. Well, you're aiming at them, but missing by a few inches. Everybody else.
I'm driving, and I drive well. And this car is much faster than it should be, and she hasn't even hit the NOS system yet. Although someone should be firing the really big cannon that's on the ceiling. But that's not her because she's driving. That'd be weird.
What skill is that?
The very big cannon at the top. That would be...
When the fuck did we get a cannon?
No,
it came with the RV.
Oh, does it come with the RV? Okay.
Yeah. It's the armored RV that they were using to kidnap people off the street.
Right. Okay. Nice.
Isn't that heavy?
It's heavy weapons. It's under reflex.
Yeah, you all saw Mr. White try and shoot a pistol last season. This ain't happening.
I don't have any heavy weapon skills. I mean, I got good reflexes. I can climb up. I'll start climbing up there, I guess. I can do that. I don't think any of us have heavy weapons.
No.
Yeah, okay. I got real good reflexes though, so I'll do that. That's fine.
Ximenez is a heavyweight weapon.
Well, we're just gonna stick him in the gun and shoot him out.
That's some luchador stuff. That's a different weight class.
Yes. No, Ximenez is, well, he's not hiding, but he's not exactly sticking his head out to see what's going on.
Okay.
Don't worry, the glass is all bulletproofed.
Do you have a gun, Ximenez?
Yeah, but you saw me shoot. He told me I was worthless as a shooter, so.
Did I say that? Oh, I'm sorry. You're great. You've got this. You're fine.
The vehicles for the next turn, they are now at 400 meters of you. So you still have one more turn before they are very, very close to you.
Can I at the very last second, as soon as we're like less than like 200 meters, veer off the road and drive towards whatever group Jynx is not
Sure.
engaged with?
Okay. So that would be during this turn.
Okay.
So I'll do
Cool.
Jynx, Reno, and we'll consider that you're, for Reno's turn, if she fires with the turret, you're within 200 meters. Because that's what you're doing. So Jynx, you swerve around, basically make a U-ey on your motorcycle to put some distance again, circle back, it's your turn. What do you do?
Same concept. I'd try and take somebody out so that they stop moving or stop driving, or the first car takes out the cars in back of it. Dune buggies.
Are you shooting at the same person?
Does it look like he's trying to control the car, or is it still his passenger doing the job?
No, he's in control.
Yeah, I'll shoot him.
All right, go ahead. Shoulder, arms, and reflex.
$18 again.
No, you rolled a 1, so you have to roll a
Oh,
d10 and subtract.
oh, 15.
15, and you need a DV of 20 at this distance. Do you have enough luck to burn, or do you say screw it?
Screw it.
You fire a shot but miss as they swerve out of the way, trying to use the buggy as cover against you. By the end of their turn, they'll be on you. But first, Reno.
Okay, what is this? Is this just like a big turret gun? There's no. Is there any scope on it, or what am I doing?
There's not a scope on it. It's a like a big assault rifle, basically. A model that would be. It would probably be feasible to fire it off the truck if you had like a tripod or something to hold it.
Okay.
Gotcha. So it's a belt fed like BAR.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
bar.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is it like the assault rifle in the character gen rules for modifications that a nomad could put on and or tech could put on a car? Because there's rules for that.
I think that's the one. Let me check the Nomad Moto.
It's on page. Well, I don't even know what page this is. It's page 60.
Yeah, I have it here.
Onboard machine gun.
No, it is not an onboard machine gun.
Okay.
It is an vehicle heavy weapon mount.
Vehicle heavy weapon mount. Okay.
So, it is basically a, if I remember right, that would be the Tsunami
Page
Arm
61.
Helix.
God, I don't have page numbers on this.
It's. Yeah, I got it. It's here. You want it?
Yeah, give me the damage on it.
It's the Tsunami Arms, so it's a little bit different. The damage is 2d6
Okay, 2d6.
times
Mm-hmm.
the amount you beat the DV to hit, up to a
Okay.
maximum of 5.
Hot. Okay. All right. I'm gonna roll then. Let's get it.
Oh, someone with a body of 11 can take it off the mount and actually walk with it and fire.
+1 +1. A natural 19.
Natural 19. Let's check the DV. You're at 200 meters, right?
Mhm.
Are we at 200 or 400?
200 at this point.
200 because I'm
Okay.
running closer.
Oh, okay.
You're missing 1
Potentially.
point to hit.
No. Oh, I'll use a luck point. I'll use a luck point. Can I do that after it's been called?
But it's for
I don't
every
remember.
point by which you beat the DV.
You'd
So
have
you
to
need at
burn
least
2
2
to-
luck points to roll 2d6, and then 3 luck points would be 2d6 times 2, and then times
I'll
3.
use 3. I'll 3 luck points. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so you're
I
gonna do
got 10.
2d6 times 2.
Okay, 2d6 times 2. Okay. Uh, 10. 10 total. Wait,
10.
11. 11 total.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you have your
11d6.
+1 you added at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fired with the auto fire skill, not the heavy weapon.
Oh, auto fire skill. I think I do have a little bit in auto fire. Maybe. No, I don't. Never mind.
Okay. So that's 10 damage on another rider. 11 damage on another rider. By the end of this turn, Jynx is now in very close proximity with them. They're actually going to fire at her. And they're also going to fire at the RV.
How close are they?
200 meters.
Okay. Cool.
You basically went like this to meet them face to face. You notice that 2 of the buggies on each side have now what's the opposite of retracted?
Dropped.
Protracted?
Allowed.
Yeah,
mean,
I
are you
guess.
trying-
Extended?
Extended. Yeah, they've extended blades under the
Come at
buggies to at the height of like a standard vehicle's wheels.
Come on.
So, let's do the 4 attacks on Jynx. They're firing with submachine guns. They need a 25, and they have a... Oh, great. At this range, they can only crit. So let's see what gives. Nope. 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 And on the car, nope. 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 So they're basically firing their submachine guns in your direction. Some of the bullets hit the side of the RV, but do nothing more than scratch the paint off of it.
Don't mess with my paint job.
It's now all of your collective turns. Unless Ximenez and Dr. White wanted to do something before the end of the round earlier. Because I skipped you.
I don't know what I'm going to do with a handgun. So we're going to pass.
Okay.
Just staring out the window until we come to a stop.
So, Reno, is it okay if I do something first because it'll help you?
Yeah, sure.
When she's about 100 meters out, Trinz activates the NOS system on the car.
Okay.
And she's also, because she said B.A. Baracus is her hero, put a combat plow on the front end bumper of this thing.
Oh, yeah, because you were allowed to put rank 1 upgrades.
I can put rank 1 upgrades on anything I drive. And
So,
the NOS also gives us an extra action. So I'm going to ram the fuck out of the guy in front of me.
alright, where's the combat plow? Combat plow! Your vehicle doesn't take any damage, and nobody in your vehicle is dealt a whiplash critical injury. That's cool. If your vehicle was boosted by NOS on the turn where you slam the front of your vehicle into a piece of covered other vehicle or unlucky pedestrian, damage dealt by your vehicle's ramming is increased by 2d6.
Yep.
Alright, since we don't have the damage that a vehicle does...
No, we do. We had it from last time. It was like,
Oh, good.
because I rammed the guy with the Toyota.
Do you still have it
was-
somewhere on your sheet, or I can look it up on the book real quick?
Hold on. I thought it was like, it was 4d6 and then an extra, because that was the small vehicle, then it was an extra 3d6 for the bigger vehicle, depending on the speed at which I hit them.
I'm gonna tell you that right now.
But I've been known to be wrong, so. Because I killed the guy with the Toyota. The Toyo Chevrolet, excuse me.
That's explosives. We're not looking at explosive right now. We're looking at ramming.
Ramming speed.
Oh, God. Dividing the speed of the moving vehicle by 20 to determine the amount of 6-sided dice to roll.
Okay, divided by 20, you said?
Yes.
So full speed with a NOS system, say an average vehicle speed.
Well, forget the NOS, because the NOS is going to add 2d6. So we're just going to take, like, so we'll say you're going at, like, 60 miles an hour.
She wouldn't be driving, there's full out, 85.
All right, 80, because the 5 doesn't matter, we're going to drop it. So that's 4d6 times
plus
the weight of the car.
Of an RV, probably 2 tons.
Oh, no, I have a chart. It's times 4.
Okay.
So it's 16 plus 2d6 for the NOS. So it's 18d6
so 18d6
if you hit.
I hit them. And I roll drive, right?
Yeah, it's drive.
Cool. I need to just make sure I have the right number.
And it's against their evasion, of course, because they're not going to stay there.
Hold on, I did math bad. Oh, thank you. Oh, I rolled crap, 17. I'll spend 2 points of luck.
So you
I'll spend the
ram
2 points of luck.
into one, roll for damage.
So that's 18 d6.
Yep.
And because I use the NOS, the people in the car get an extra turn. 65.
All right. What would be... where are my vehicles? I think you basically destroy the dune buggy, but I'm just gonna check really quickly. Just in case.
Yeah, and the vehicle doesn't take any damage, and nobody in the vehicle can be damaged by whiplash critical for me running somebody over.
But the NOS thing, it basically gives you another action, not everybody else in the...
Okay, but technically the driver is supposed to be firing the turret, but we had someone else.
No. The turret is it's not the
Okay.
machine gun. The machine gun is
okay.
fired by the driver.
Okay.
69. Okay, so dune buggy. That's gonna go like that. Structural damage point 50. So yeah, you plow into this this dune buggy, flipping it over as it crashes. The other 3 buggies begin to circle around you. You have another action. What do you try to do?
Can I try and position the vehicle in the most advantageous place for Reno to shoot a guy?
I'd say don't make a driver check. You'll give a +2 to Reno's
Okay.
attack. And we'll do Reno right away.
Let's go for another hit then.
All right.
Pull up my sheet. 14 plus the 2, you said?
Yep.
So 16.
You're very, very close because you just rammed into one. So as you swivel the turret around, we'll say you're within 25 meters.
Okay.
So you needed a 10. So that's a 6. That's max damage. So it's 2d6 times 5.
2d6 times 5. Ooh, that's a good roll. 10 times 5?
50.
50, yeah.
Were you firing at the same one as earlier?
Yeah. Yeah, I got my targets on that one.
They're-
Oh, 51.
Dead. Dead. You just shredded both the driver and
it was
the
extra
passenger.
one that did it, wasn't it? Yeah. Knew it.
Pretty much. Their buggy just goes swerving away. Jynx.
I'll keep doing what I was doing, and they're a lot closer now, right?
Yep, they are within 50 meters.
Okay, so 21.
That is a hit.
$13.
You finally manage to kill the driver. And his buggy goes swerving as the other one attempts to hold on to the wheel. the survivors, so 2 on one side, 3 on the others, realizing that you can fight back with serious firepower, decide to fuck it and leave. Do you wish to pursue them or just get back to the road?
No, I'll get back to the others. I mean, like, obviously, I'll check back, make sure they're not changing their mind again, but I go back to the others.
And what about the RV?
Are we gonna keep chasing them, or are we gonna let them go away?
We have a
Depends on.
we have a wrestler that has a match to get though.
Oh yeah, you're right. We shouldn't delay Ximenez.
I know
Okay.
I know it's vacation, but if you go chasing every tail that you see out here in the desert, you're gonna get thirsty, and not in a good way.
I don't chase tail.
These are regular
chase mine.
raiders. This wasn't planned. Like this isn't some higher power planning this shit. This is regular raider crap.
Cool.
Jimenez,
Did you remember
Jimenez
to
just
grab-
does a slow head turn at Trinz's comment about them chasing her, but he doesn't say anything.
What? It's not like I put a NOS system on this car for or no reason. Do you know how much money there is to make in drag racing? Quarter mile every time, honey.
And as the group goes back on the road for the last 2 hours of their trip, we're going to take a break. When we come back, the group finally arrives in Springfield, Nevada. Stick around, everyone. We'll also have our giveaway when we return from break. And we are back, everyone. Hello. So, for our giveaway tonight, if you wish to win a Cyberpunk Red Jumpstart Kit, courtesy of Artalsorian Games, you can use code !PLOW! !PLOW! And you will be entered to win a copy of the Cyberpunk Red Jumpstart Kit that we've been using all through Season 1. So I'll leave you a couple of minutes to enter if you wish to enter, and then we will draw the winner. So, 2 hours later, we find our group finally arriving at Springfield. You know that you've arrived because the sign that welcomes you into Springfield used to be a one of those highway signs, like those big green signs that's just been decommissioned and propped up next to the road. Welcome to Springfield is spray painted on it. The city beyond the sign is a mix of old buildings. By old, I mean prior to the 21st century. And a few new construction, mostly made out of concrete and steel. There are no skyscrapers here. It's what you would come to expect of almost like a frontier town in 2045. You won't see any aerodynes in the sky. You probably won't see cyber cars like that can be operated via Neuralink in this place. If anything, the place looks like what a town would be at the onset of the 21st century. It's got, as you drive in, the main street, you know, a few small shopping centers, most of them abandoned, boarded up. There's a clinic that apparently also offers cyberware services. A tattoo parlor. There's an old fire station. You're not even sure if there are firefighters still working in there. You pass by the local sheriff's office, which looks more like a fortress than anything. It's surrounded by a cement wall with barbed wires, cameras mounted everywhere, a flag of the city of Springfield flying high above it. There's a motel as you enter town. Or as you would exit the town, I should say. A few fast food joints. That's what you see on the main road.
Are there meters on the door at the motel? It's
No.
very important.
No, there
Our
are
city
not.
looks like a paradise compared to this. It's so dry.
Make sure you hydrate.
And congratulations, Tahomas123. If you can send me a DM by Twitter or Twitch with your email address, I will get that to CD Projekt Red, to Artalsorian Games, and they will send you your Cyberpunk Red Jumpstart Kit. There's also a building with a sign in front of it. Probably an old church that's been repurposed. Says Springfield Office of Tourism. So what do you do?
Do we know where the guy is?
I'll assume that because DM forgot about it, but yes, Connie would have said that he resides at the motel.
We'll start there first then.
Resides as in present tense, or last he heard from him, he was at the motel?
Well, the last message was a day before Connie contacted you. I figure you left the moment after you met with Connie. For, you know...
We would have left whenever Ximenez was ready to go and needed to be there in advance to kind of prep and train. And
well, the...
because he only had 3 days.
The promo was, 3 days, in 3 days in Springfield.
Yeah, so it would have been 10 hours to get there.
Yep.
So that would that cut out basically 1 day.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 2 days here for promo, and I will find a parking place in this motel.
So yeah, last Connie heard of Reeves, which would have been 2 days ago, by the time you get to Springfield, he was residing at the motel.
I will text Connie and say, what was he driving?
Old Volkswagen.
Trinz, is there any Volkswagens around? Old ones.
Yeah, you see a for us it would be super recent. It's a 2020 model.
I was gonna say they're like it's probably like the new kind that are like super ugly, but to them it's old.
Yeah. It's a 2020 Volkswagen Atlas.
Ooh. Yes, the answer is not pretty to look at. Yeah, there's an Atlas. I mean, it's not horrible for a box on wheels with no aerodynamics whatsoever.
That's what he's driving, so park next to it. That's probably where he's staying.
Do I have to park like next to it, or can I like...
I don't care, just...
Okay, fine. And she's gonna park like one space over. Like, I don't want to be seen with this car.
You notice that the motel, by the way, the way it's placed, it's not outside of town limits, but it probably was like one of the first building that Springfield evolved around. Across the street from the motel is this big gas station that's even got fuel tanks for helicopters on the roof. There's even one there like at the moment. A few big tankards are parked on in the parking lot of that place, eating. Their driver's probably eating at the very greasy and disgusting restaurant that's there. You park in the parking of the motel. Get off the car. Where do you go from there?
Trinz is checking the paint job to see if it's scuffed from getting shot at the car.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a few bullet holes, like 3 bullet holes. It didn't go through the interior of the car, but yeah.
Ximenez is standing behind her, just looking at it and says, "Oh, those will buff right out."
You just need a coat of paint. You're good.
I mean, I didn't go through the armor plating, of course, because I put really good armor plating on this thing, but I couldn't didn't shoot straight. Why did they have to? Oh, I gotta buff. I gotta pull. That's not gonna buff out. That's not gonna buff out. I gotta pull that. I gotta pull that.
While this is happening around the RV, what are Reno, Mr. White, and Jynx doing?
Scouting out the perimeter. Not going in anywhere, but like I'm passing by, the little usually glass windowed booth that the motel attendant stays in, getting a feel for how many people with us are there staying at the motel.
There
Any
are
weird
3 other
around?
vehicles parked, aside
Three
from
other
the old
vehicles
Volkswagen.
Okay, so 4 total.
Yeah, 4 total.
Okay.
And when you pass by the glass, you notice that the glass of the booth is reinforced bulletproof glass.
Makes sense.
You can peer inside between the blinders, the blinds. Oof. Between the blinds, you can see someone being very, very bored. From the back, you notice that they're not very wide set. They have long hair tied in a low ponytail. Could be a man or a woman, difficult to see. They seem to be looking at a computer screen. But you can't make out the details on the screen through the blinds. Aside from that, you notice that, the main entrance door would be to the side of that to get into the office. And there are a few vending machines for, the regular. One is for, like, pop. The other one is for, like, condoms, lubes, and other accessories. Another one is for alcohol.
I'm gonna tap on the window and see if I can get their attention.
Hey, you can see the blinds just split open and a pair of eyes. Definitely, you can make out the face a bit more. It's definitely a woman.
The man in the car over there, I point to the Volkswagen. When's he supposed to check out?
Said he was staying here for a week.
And he was supposed to arrive 2 days ago, right?
He contacted Connie 2 days ago. So he might have been there for a while before, but he's... You want to know when he's leaving?
Yes.
Friday, which would be in 4 days from now.
4 days. Thanks. You seen him today?
Don't see him a lot.
You probably don't see many people. That's fine. Thank you. Just walk away.
They go back to whatever they were doing.
So are you still here?
Assume so. They haven't seen him lately, but he's supposed to check out in about 4 days.
Okay.
Ooh, his car, is it cold or is it warm to the touch? Like, has it been used recently?
It's warm because of desert sun. Even though the sun is probably setting at this point when you arrive.
That's fair.
We're talking like it's maybe like 8, 9 at night. So
Okay.
so it's not cool, but it is not like warm like motor was active a few hours ago.
Okay.
What's everybody else doing?
Does Ximenez have to go somewhere to let them know that you're here?
Nah, I just texted them. It's fine. I don't even have to wrestle a match tonight. I just have to hit someone with a chair.
Okay.
Tonight or when the promo happens? Because the promo isn't for a couple days, right?
Yeah, it's when the promo happens.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There's a they would need Ximenez, you would know through your text message. They would need you for about 4 hours total. They want to film a bit before that they'll show during the show, and then like a small participation, and then that's it. And by the way, you will be paid for that. It's not exposure anymore.
Don't suppose we know where his room is.
Parked in front of it, maybe. Is it like the parking situation where they're like the cars are right there and then the doors are? I'll just go
Yeah.
up to the door that's closer to that and give it a good loud bang.
Tong tong tong.
Braves.
You hear a voice from inside that says, "Be there in a minute."
Oh. I think it's him.
Well,
Okay.
at least he's not dead.
At least we don't have to search everywhere.
It didn't sound distressed or anything, just normal.
You can make human perception if you want to.
Yeah.
See emotions through voice.
Oh, that's a good one. Where's my sheet? 9 plus 14 plus. Oh, empathy is not a stat, is it? Oh, it is. It is. It is. 18.
18. Yeah, you notice there's a small like treble behind the voice. Hesitation. Like if someone wanted to sound okay a bit too much.
Aladdin, we're friends of Connie's.
There's no answer to that.
I'm gonna wait 30 seconds to a minute and then give a nod to Ximenez to see if he can bust the door open.
You wait about 30 seconds and you hear a voice from inside that says, okay, I'm coming.
I'll
And
give it another impatient knock.
You knock again and the voice says, "Be there in a minute."
Does the sound?
Ximenez is just going to kick the door down.
This is
It's
gonna
a
kind of
recording.
sound. This is I was about to say. This is kind of gonna sound a little tinfoil hatty. But does the voice sound like it's coming from the same place in the room?
Mm-hmm.
It's a recording. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. You busted down.
Ximenez. That would be ooh, I was gonna say physique, but it's not necessarily physique now.
Body.
You could go with athletics if you wanted.
Could I just use martial arts for this?
Oh yeah, definitely. If you want to like kick down the door instead of just bust through it with your shoulder, yeah.
Okay. So
That would be a DC
7.
14.
No.
Okay.
Where did my dice go?
So my martial arts rating is 7 and my body is 9. That's 16. So
Well, so long as you don't roll a 1. Yeah, you're fine. You kick down the door, and it breaks open, swings, and slams on the wall. And there you see it. Hung by a string, just spinning around, is an agent attached with like another device, like through a USB plug. Probably a Well, you like all of you would probably recognize it, especially Trinz. It's a noise detector, like a voice detector. So basically, if it hears a noise or a voice loud enough, it plays the recording that's on the phone. You notice that the bed is not made. Across the room, pinned to the walls, are various pictures of yourselves.
Don't like that.
Screenshots printed in low def for the most part of camera footage from the Forlorn Hope, footage from street cams in Night City when you went to IEC, pictures of you in your apartments taken through the windows, some from afar, some from very close, like right outside the window type thing.
Get Connie on the phone.
There are other
Are we burning
pictures.
this? Are we burning this? I think we're burning this.
No. We're going to figure out what this is. All of this leads to something.
Are any of these pictures nudes? I would be very upset.
No.
They didn't get me at my best angle.
That was going to be my line. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Great.
I look my best when I come right out of the shower.
No, it's the way your apartments are made anyway. There are no windows to your bedrooms. There's a window to the kitchen and a window to the living room. Like, there's a random picture of Mercutio watching the TV. Yeah. And it's got an X in pen over it.
Is he threatening my brother? That looks like he's threatening my brother. I feel like that's a threat to my brother's life.
I don't know what this means yet. It could be.
Is he the only one that's X'd out?
It could be ruling out suspects.
No, you have another picture of when you first played cards on the roof of the apartment at the beginning of the first season.
Mhm.
But it's a shot from very far away, and it's an isometric shot of all of you, and there are X's on Royal. There's an X on what's his face that plays bowling?
Barry.
Barry. There's like Gina was there. There's an X on Gina. And then circles around Reno and Jynx and Trinz and Ximenez.
Yeah, I don't think those are threats. I think they're ruling people out. Because Gina was alive when we left.
So was Mercutio.
Yeah.
There are other pictures. The door to the bathroom is thrown open. The curtain to the shower is closed. But there are pictures in the bathroom as well. One of them, pinned to the mirror, is of Kiyoshi. Not when he was meeting interview. It seems to be Kiyoshi on the phone, like on his agent, talking, probably at the entrance of the Arasaka building with other people. So you see like the shoulder and half a head of someone else in the frame.
I don't understand. He's supposed to be researching IEC. Does he think one of us is secretly IEC?
I'm still trying to figure out if this is his or if this was staged. Because this could just be for us. So what are the connections that I'm seeing here? Is there anything that doesn't seem to match this pattern of photos?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that slipped underneath the bed, underneath, behind the dresser? anything stashed in the water tank of the toilet, you know, any of that kind of stuff where people might not have looked when they were staging something, if this was staged. I
You
want to rule that out.
You can make a perception or a criminology check.
What about a deduction check?
Yeah, deduction if you don't want to search for anything and you just want to take in what you see here
Yeah.
and try to deduce something, that would be deduction, yeah.
I'm
You said
just
perception.
I'm looking at the patterns, trying to see what is going on.
Okay.
I'm not actively trying to search. Well, I mean, the toilet thing would be trying to search for something, and I would actually physically go look if that were the case. But no.
A 14 for me on perception.
So I got it. That's going to be lower. So hold on.
Yeah.
So that's a 9. So yeah, nothing for me.
Well, you're looking at all the pictures and you see that a lot of pictures are about you and the way the circles are made. And you get the feeling that perhaps Reeves is your long-lost father.
I think you're losing
I'm just
it,
fucking
mate.
with you. There's nothing.
I was like, what? Where are you going with this?
There's
gonna say-
nothing to be fine.
He's standing there,
Yeah.
math woman
What?
GIF, you know.
No, there's with a what is it? A 9 in deduction. It either this person is a fan of you, like all of you collectively, or a stalker.
I don't know if anybody can make heads or tails of this. That would be great, because if Reeves is gone AWOL and not actually searching what he's searching for, or Connie has decided to double cross us, I need to know.
So I would like to know. Yeah.
Trinz is looking around because she has been concerned about somebody putting a camera anywhere near her because there are reasons she doesn't like to be seen in public. And so she rolled a 19 on her deduction.
All right. Anina,
I'll
what was
spend
that
1 point
roll?
of luck. I will spend 1 point of luck to make a 20.
20. Okay, so 20 deduction though. So you're not searching. You're
Yes.
just trying to deduce. Okay. So 20
Well, I mean,
deduction.
like, yeah, I mean, if she has to move like the lid off the water.
Well, that would be perception. Deduction is just staying like looking around with the math expression.
No, she would. No, she's doing deduction.
Okay. Ximenez, you rolled for something. What was that?
Oh, I just rolled the perception. I didn't mean to put the 15 there. I just rolled 9.
Yeah, we have to roll another d10 because you failed.
Look at the room and at Mr. White, and you realize you're both the same height. And he's just about the right age to maybe be your long-lost father.
Well, it's certainly not my father. I know what he looks like, so.
Welcome to the I don't know what's going on club.
I'll explain that
Yeah.
meme later. And Reno, were you doing anything?
I mean, does it just, do I get a vibe of like he's just like gone off the deep end? Like, does it seem like even if I can't decipher the meaning, that there clearly is some kind of meaning behind this, or is it just kind of garbled junk, you know?
That would be using deduction as well.
Deduction. I'm not very
Yeah.
good at deduction. We'll try it though. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. 17. Wait, no, sorry. 15.
Okay. And what was that roll for Trinz? No, Trinz rolled. Okay, Jynx. Were you doing anything before I like go into
Well, I was gonna use perception, so I was actually like ruffling around a little bit.
Okay.
So I'll roll.
Go ahead.
$20.
All right, so we've got deduction at 20 and deduction at what was it? Reno?
It was a 15.
17.
No,
No,
it was
15.
too lower. It was too lower than that. 15.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'll start with 15 deduction and then I'll go up from there. 15 deduction, this is definitely a code. This is something that someone did. Well, we know that it's... Let's assume for a moment that this specific someone is Reeves. And Reeves knows what all of this means. It could be it could probably be broken. The code could probably be broken and understood, judging by all the pictures that are there. With a 20 in deduction, you come close to understanding Reeves' thinking behind it all. None of these pictures are pictures that were taken, one, with your consent, two, by a person. A lot of the angles of the shots are either drone shots or security camera shots. Like the shot on the roof, the parking garage shot before you exploded the whole place at IEC. Even the ones done at the Forlorn Hope, it looks like the cameraman or whoever took the picture was sitting atop one of the streetlights. It is clear that whoever took these pictures wanted to make sure you wouldn't see them taking the pictures. And they're far enough away that, The other pics that are strewn about the rooms, that aren't about you necessarily, like the one of Kiyoshi, seems to have been taken with an agent. All of those other pictures have the same, like, let's say, high-def quality that an agent would have instead of a security camera. There's a difference between the two.
So would it be fair from that deduction and knowledge that Kiyoshi is on an agent versus the others, which are purposely things that are much further away and definitely taken by someone who didn't want to be noticed per se, would it be fair to say the possibility of us the possibility of someone being able to recognize the photographer if they got too close? Is that what but Kiyoshi wouldn't. Does that make sense?
Probably.
Like,
Yep.
It's someone that we would recognize, but Kiyoshi wouldn't, so they need to be further away rather than with Kiyoshi, where they can get closer because they're using the agent, which was a smaller zoom.
There's, with a 20 in deduction, I will also give you that before I move to the people that are searching the motel room. Out of all the pictures that were taken, there are a lot more pictures of you, like all of you, the group, taken after you've met with Kiyoshi the first time. After...
Oh god, it's very Showalter.
after the restaurant job.
Well, we saw someone there, possibly at the restaurant.
Who was searching the apartment? That was... Yeah. You found Reeves.
Oh. Is he smelling?
He's not smelling.
Oh, he's dead?
Dead in the shower.
Oh God. Okay.
Is it fresh?
That's what I meant by smelling.
It's a
Is he-
little hard to know. You would need a first aid check. He choked to death on a tie wrap. Someone tied a tie wrap around his neck and just...
a tie?
Yeah, a tie, like a plastic. You
A
know?
garage.
Oh,
He was
a garage.
garage. Yeah.
No,
okay, I
but
was
like the white plastic like transparent thing that cops
Oh, a
sometimes
zip
use
tie?
as
Yeah,
zip
zip
tie.
A zip tie.
Okay.
Okay, we call them
sorry.
tie wraps here.
Really?
Okay, I was like,
Yes.
a tie. I'm picturing the thing you get on a loaf of bread, and I'm like, what the hell
Oh,
is he
yeah,
choking with
twist
that?
tie.
And it's like,
No,
That's why not twist tie.
a
I mean,
zip
can it get
tie.
shoved down his throat or something? I'm
He's
very
got the
confused.
neck the size of a mouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
So someone zip tied him to death.
Shit.
Cool.
And also, for good measure, all of his clothes are in a bundle at his feet. It's like rapidly trying to frame his life as like autoerotic asphyxiation.
Here's the important question: are the clothes wet?
Nope.
Not autoerotic asphyxiation, then.
And then with a 20 in awareness, as you scan the rest of the bathroom, awareness, perception, sorry, Jynx, you notice on Mr. White's head, on the side of his head, a little red dot keeps moving like that. You have a second to react. What do you do?
I literally tackle him to the ground and yell, "Get down!"
Mr. White, do you let yourself be tackled down?
Jinx comes at me and says, "Get down."
Mm-hmm.
I literally tackle you to the ground and then
Yeah.
yell, "Get down!"
What I would do, I would literally lift my feet and just fall backwards.
I would like Mr. White to make an evasion check with a +4, thanks to Jynx.
I'll also fucking duck. Just, you know.
Well, yeah, I'll ask the question while Chris
Oh,
is
yeah, no,
rolling
no,
for
of course.
everybody else. Who's
Right,
ducking
of
and who's
cour-
not?
Of course.
Trinz is ducking and looking for the rate and trying to duck behind the crappy radiator, which is in this room.
+4, that would be a 33.
Yeah. You completely avoid the long-ass steel arrow that was fired at you and that lodges itself at the head of the bed. Everyone jumps down. And from the arrow, you just hear "Dit-dit-dit," and the room goes up in flames.
Get out.
I'm going to my car.
Everyone before armor would take 26 points of damage.
Woo! So it explodes.
The entire room explodes.
Oh my god.
So, question.
Yes.
That means we reduce it by armor then?
Yeah, you reduce it by armor.
Out of 50.
Oh, thank you, God.
Um.
So it's 15. If
Yeah, because it's not shrapnel or anything. It's a shockwave followed by flames.
What? How many was it again?
26.
26. Okay.
26 minus your armor.
Yeah. Okay. Question. Even though it has been exploded, after we kind of quickly recuperate and head out, is there anything still left on the wall of this amalgamation of pictures left?
Papers were the first thing to burn.
Shit. Okay. Well, I will take a picture of whatever is left with my agent and then haul my ass out. Might be able to get a decipherable.
Well, if you stay in the room for one turn, you'll take some damage from the flames, but you'll at least be able to take a few pictures, like through the flame and the smoke, of what's, because the paper doesn't burn like instantly. Of course, what was over the bed, like above the bed, that's gone.
Oh, that's gone.
But
yeah,
if you take your agent and just like swipe it around.
Oh yeah.
To get...
I'll take the damage for sure.
Okay.
That's fine.
So that would be without armor, though.
That's fine.
Because it goes in your lungs and everything. That's 8 points of damage.
Okay.
Trinz hauls ass to the van and turns the van on. Somebody is shooting at her. She wants to be behind the walls of her very nice bulletproof van.
Wait, so this arrow, did it come from the window?
It came from, through the window.
Okay, I was making sure it wasn't like a booby trap kind of thing. Okay.
No, someone shot at you through the window. Mr. White, Ximenez, what are you doing?
Ximenez is sprinting out of that room, trying to keep his head down.
Mr. White?
I walk out, back towards the RV, looking around.
Make a perception check.
I'm gonna get to my bike and my sniper rifle.
Okay.
And look through my scope to see where.
Mr. White with a 17, you would notice across the street that helicopter that was refueling. Someone is quickly scrambling aboard it. They just threw something at in the back seat of the helicopter.
I take a photo with I film it with my agent. I don't take a photo. I just put it to record and lift it.
They hop aboard the helicopter and begin lifting off.
I take as much footage as I can.
All right, yep.
Before they're gone, and then I send that footage to Alt.
Okay.
Question: does anyone else notice this helicopter taking off?
Yeah.
Once it's taken off,
question.
yes, you don't need a check. The perception check was to see that person throw something in and quickly scramble up inside the helicopter to leave. But yeah, an helicopter leaving is not stealthy in any way.
Somebody want to hit the tail of that bird?
On it. I'm gonna shoot.
Can you hit the tail, please?
Yeah, I was gonna hit the pilot.
Either one.
The helicopter is 200 meters from you. Whatever you hit, you needed a 25. Let me check.
Are you aiming for the guy or the tail? Because, Hi, Pupper.
He's ignoring me.
Okay. So you shoot where exactly?
I want to make sure it comes down. Is the pilot the same person that threw the thingy in the back, or there's two people?
You see only one person in the helicopter.
I'll hit the tail.
Roll for damage.
Try and destabilize it.
17.
You fire into the helicopter. You hear the tang of your bullet hitting something. But it seems like the helicopter is a bit of armor. You did some damage, not as much as you thought you would. And it's taken off, and instead of taking off in a straight line to like exit the city right away, because like I said, the motel is on the edge of the city almost. It swerves around to fly above Springfield.
Can I activate my speedwear and try again?
Sure, I'll let you fire one more time. If anyone else wants to do something too.
Anyone got a laser?
I mean, we have a really big gun on the roof of this car.
Yeah, I can go up and fire it again. That's fine.
20 is not enough. At this distance, you would need a 25. So if you have 5 points of luck to burn...
Nope.
Dang. It would be epic to watch that thing blow up.
Yeah, it would have been nice.
Sir.
Oh, you're talking to your pupper.
Yeah, sorry. He's woofing. I can climb back up to the turret and take another shot.
You can try.
Would I give her any
That's
advantage
good.
if I put the car in motion and drive after this helicopter, which is not subtle and I can see?
I would say that would be a drive check. Because it's not subtle, it'll be opposed by their evasion. Or their air vehicle check. And if you succeed, I'll say you give a +4 to Reno's attempt.
Ooh, then that is a 25.
Well, if she succeeds.
Okay.
I will spend. No, it's not going to matter because he's going to explode it.
He's got a 23.
I can spend. I can match that with the luck I have left.
Then that would be a +4.
Nice. Then that is a 25.
On 25, you hit. Barely, you can roll 2d6.
Okay. Just 2d6? Okay.
Yep.
Ooh, that's nice. It's a 6. A 7. 7 total. What? 8. With my +1.
The helicopter swerves under the hit. There's a bit of smoke coming out of the tail, but it keeps going. It is heading south.
Okay.
And it's on that we're going to end tonight's episode.
Okay.
Trinz is sad she did not yet have an opportunity to retrofit the turret for the rocket launcher that Ximenez very kindly gave her at the end of last season.
It would have been almost the same DVs, though. To
But
be
the
fair,
damage would be higher.
math-wise. Huh?
But the damage would be
The
higher.
damage would be higher, yeah. So, that was episode 1 of season 2. Things are starting off with a bang. How does a little pain feels like?
I didn't get shot.
That's true. That's a first.
No. It's a good
Mr.
thing.
Mr. White didn't get shot neither.
No. Thanks to that epic evasion roll. Because otherwise, Mr. White was taking 12d6 to the head.
Wow. Wow. I think you'd be dead.
And then a d6 from the explosion.
Yeah,
what
how
happens
about
when you hit 0 HP? Do you just die? Is there
Yep.
death rolls?
There are
death
death
saves.
rolls, but when an explosion occurs
Yeah.
on your face, it's yeah.
Yeah,
the
you'd be
DV the
dead.
DV
Jesus.
the DV wasn't like I had already rolled the DV ahead of time because the person wasn't necessarily aiming at all of you, but we'll see who that mysterious assassin is. if
I
you
don't like
find them.
assassins.
Well,
Don't forget
something
that,
happened to
that
Reeves.
feed got uploaded.
Yes, I have it in my notes. I actually already have, like, in my notes, it's not just Mr. White sent the information to Alt. It's, I already typed out what the answer Alt is going to come back with.
Gotcha.
So, let's go around the table. Tell us who you are, where we can find you on the internet. What do you have going on in your lives? I'll be the last one to go. So we'll do a reverse order from the intros. So we'll start with Deirdre, then Chris, Rin, Anino, and finally Adelaide.
Well, hey y'all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre on Twitter, or Praxagorth as Mayaphoria, as you see me around on Twitch. And wow, that was a lot. I didn't get shot, but I did get to kill a guy with a car, so that was fun. But as for me, you can find me back here tomorrow as I run the fun for some Black Flag Rapscallion pirates. There will be a gala. There's a party. We're looking for pirate treasure and map. It's gonna be fun, y'all. And then on Wednesday, you can find me over on Tales from the Grim for the Witcher Family of Wraiths. And the Wild Hunt is coming. We're running from the Wild Hunt. But other than that, check my Twitter because I always post where I'm going to be and all the fun things I do, all the games that I write, all the great people I get to hang out with and play games with, like these wonderful people who I am so glad we are back together, and I missed you all while we were gone. And you can see when I post things about going live on my channel where we do indie games and I talk about classical literature. Right now we're working our way through the Aeneid. Come hang out. We're nerdy and fun. Other than that, see you next time.
Hey everyone, I'm Chris Geary. You can find me on Twitter at Chris Geary. As you can see in the frame, I'm Chris Geary in the chat as well. Fridays, you'll find me here as Mr. White, aka Dr. Frost, aka almost got his head shot off, and then Flambéed. In July on this channel on Mondays, we will have a new season of Castle Falkenstein with Mondays 8 p.m. starts, and come find out what's going to be going on in Venice in New Europa. More details to come as we get closer. And other than that, Omens Rising is still taking shape. We're doing more playtesting and always looking for interesting people with interesting experiences and underrepresented experiences in tabletop RPGs to be one of our co-conspirators. Hit me up on Twitter if that sounds something like you, and we can see if it's up your alley. That's it from me.
Hey, Aaron. At Heaven's Night in Twitter or Burns Through the Rain in the Twitch chat. You can find me here on Thursdays being a magical anime girl. Otherwise, Fridays here for Cyberpunk, which was really fun tonight. So, and I'm glad we're all back because I was missing this game a lot. So, yay! Yeah, that's about it.
How's it going, everyone? You can find me on Twitter at Anino Gaming. Off to a fast start here. Hopefully, I'll get to be able to punch someone soon, because guns aren't Ximenez's things. Anyway, you can find me tomorrow. Actually, all this weekend on the Other Doc channel. Starting tomorrow for Invisible Sun 7. Lords of Gossamer and Shadow one shot at about 1 p.m. on Sunday, and then back again on Sunday night at 7 p.m. for Dark Matter.
push my button, but it didn't unmute my mic. I am Adelaide Gardner, Adelaide on Twitter. Again, I play Reno, obviously. I am 1/4 of a team called Action Fiction, where we make tabletop role-playing games. We just released our first game, Monsters of Merca, which is a 5e supplement for D&D that is all political and American cultural parody. Really fun game, and we are currently working on 2 others, one called Toys Are We, and then my baby, which is called Anomaly, which is a whole new system based around a single D12 that is sci-fi horror. So I post about it a lot on Twitter. Keep posted if that sounds up your alley.
Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you players for returning for season 2, as I put you through so much pain and trouble. Thank you everyone who came to watch. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the follows. Thank you to all of you watching on YouTube. It's always greatly appreciated to know that we have fans on the other platform. Thank you to all of our sponsors, Artalsorian Games, Mage and Press, Found Familiar, Roll20. Thank you to our partners, Level Up Dice. And we will see you again tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern for Black Flag, our Rapscallion campaign. And then on Tuesday for more Witcher. And then, of course, back on Thursday for Magical Girl, and next Friday for the next episode of Cyberpunk Red. In the meantime, stay safe, everyone, and have a good evening. Bye-bye.